Which type of salt is the best? Now, the answer might surprise you. It certainly did me. This is Compound Action: How Small Steps Create Massive Change. And I'm Corey Applin. Today, I'll cover a brief history of salt use, the different types of salt, purported benefits of each, and which one I'll declare the winner as best salt. This episode is not sponsored by any salt brand, so I'll give an unbiased opinion based on my own research and what I value to be important. Now, salt has been considered one of the most valued commodities throughout all of human civilization. In ancient times, it was even more valuable than gold, with some civilizations using it as currency. Fun fact, the term salary is derived from the Latin word salarium, which refers to payment given to Roman soldiers to buy salt. It's long been prized not only for its taste, but also its preservation properties, which were especially crucial before refrigeration. Egyptians, of course, used salt in the mummification process, while ancient Chinese writings reference salt in its vital role in health. Salt also played a significant role in trade routes across Europe, Africa, and Asia, giving rise to the salt roads and fueling commerce. And today, even though we have easy access to salts, it's still a commodity as people use it almost every day in their day-to-day cooking and lives. I'm going to break down the different types of salts typically found today. And full disclosure, for that list, I'm sticking to types and brands that are easily found and readily available. I didn't want to use anything obscure or small batch. People could argue that there are salts out there that are better quality or with less contaminants, and they might be right, but that's not what this episode is about. So let's get into it. I'm going to go over 7 different types of salts, with the first being something everyone's familiar with: table salt. Now, table salt is highly refined. It's made by either evaporating seawater or brine from salt mines. It's typically fortified with iodine to prevent deficiencies, and it undergoes a bleaching process to make it appear pure white. It also has anti-caking agents that are added to prevent clumping. Of the types of salts, it's the most heavily processed and therefore has the highest sodium content. Its taste is described as highly salty, sharp, and consistent. And the main purported benefit is iodization, the adding of iodine to help prevent thyroid problems like goiter, especially in areas where iodine deficiency are common. The iodization of table salt started in 1924 due to deficiencies in northern US that were causing thyroid problems and referred to as the goiter belt. But on the bad side, the refining process removes many trace minerals, making it really less nutritionally dense, and anti-caking agents and additives can be concerning for those seeking a more natural option. Number 2 on the list is kosher salt. Kosher salt is nutritionally the same as table salt, but without the iodine. It's coarser and it typically has a larger grain size, which makes it easier to control when seasoning food. Its taste is described as mild and clean without any metallic or chemical aftertaste due to its lack of additives. It dissolves easily and provides a clean, bright saltiness. Because it's free of additives, it's often preferred in cooking. It's great for seasoning food without adding unwanted chemicals. However, like the table salt, it's also highly processed to remove impurities, and depending on the brand, may also use anti-caking agents. Third on the list is pink Himalayan salt, which is mined from the Kura salt mine in Pakistan. It contains up to 84 trace minerals, including magnesium, calcium, and potassium, and its pink color comes from iron oxide, also known as rust, in the salt. It tastes milder and less sharp than table salt, with a slight mineral aftertaste. It's known for its trace minerals and is sometimes considered purer than table salt. Some claim it helps with hydration and balancing electrolytes due to its mineral content, but more on that later. The primary risk of Himalayan sea salt is contamination. Heavy metals are really prevalent, with trace amounts of lead, arsenic, mercury, and cadmium have all been detected in samples. And even radioactive elements like uranium and polonium may be present. It's not usually in high enough amounts to be considered harmful, but I don't know. You be the judge of that. Number 4 on the list is a salt that's gained a lot of popularity. It's sea salt, which is made by evaporating seawater. It retains a lot of minerals from the sea, which give it a slightly different flavor than table salt. It's less processed and contains trace minerals, again, like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. The taste is more briny and more complex compared to table salt, with a varying coarseness depending on the specific type of sea salt. The benefits are claimed to be more natural and contain minerals that give it the unique flavor. And because it's less processed, sea salt is often preferred by people looking for a more natural option. But it may be contaminated by microplastics and heavy metals due to ocean pollution. Number 5 is a specific type of sea salt called Celtic sea salt. Celtic sea salt is harvested by hand from tidal ponds along the coast of France. It's moist, gray in color, and contains a variety of trace minerals. It's less processed than many other salts and retains a natural moisture. The taste is considered milder and less sharp, again, than table salt, with a slight mineral flavor. The purported benefits are that it's rich in minerals, including, again, magnesium and potassium, which may be beneficial for balancing electrolytes, and it's often considered one of the most natural salts available. But like other sea salts, it carries the risk of contamination, and the moisture can cause clumping, so it's not ideal for use in salt shakers. Number 6 is another type of sea salt called Baja Gold sea salt. Baja Gold is harvested from seawater specifically in the Sea of Cortez. It's unrefined and sun-dried, making it also rich in trace minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium. The taste is subtle and less salty compared to refined salts, with a mineral-rich flavor. Due to its mineral content and unrefined nature, makes Baja Gold a favorite for those seeking a raw and minimally processed salt. But again, like other salts, it may carry risk of contamination, though Baja Gold markets itself as being relatively pure. The final salt, rounding out number 7, is Redmond real salt. It's mined in Utah from an ancient seabed, is unrefined, and contains more than 60 trace minerals, including calcium, potassium, and magnesium. It's free of additives and comes from a pure, unpolluted source. Since the salt deposits are from ancient oceans, there won't be any microplastics. The taste is milder and more complex than table salt, with a slight sweetness and mineral-rich flavor. And due to its purity and lack of modern-day pollutants, it is considered a cleaner alternative to many natural salts like sea salt and pink Himalayan. So here we are. We have our list of 7 types of salts. Which one is actually the best? The first thing I want to address is iodine content. While some of the natural salts contain some iodine, it's really not enough to significantly impact daily requirements. Table salt stands alone there, but table salt is also highly refined and comes with additives. Today in the US, iodine deficiency is extremely uncommon. And some would say it's because we have iodized salt. I would argue it's not 1924 anymore. And most Americans have easy access to foods that are naturally higher in iodine content, like fish, seafood, seaweed, dairy, and eggs. So unless there's a risk of deficiency, which can happen with people who are on a strict vegetarian or vegan diet, or if there's already a deficiency causing thyroid problems, or if there's a greater need for iodine, like in pregnant women who need about 50% more iodine daily, it wouldn't be my first pick. It is readily available, but I gravitate towards naturally, minimally processed foods. So the next consideration would be mineral content. And you have these natural salt brands really touting, 60 trace minerals, 80 trace minerals, which, while true, turns out to be really clever marketing. They certainly got me. I know Americans are chronically deficient in a lot of minerals. And you see these ads and you think, what an easy way to add minerals into somebody's diet. But here's the catch. When you dig into the mineral reports on these different salts, the mineral content is so low that they really don't even put a dent into the daily recommended amounts. They may help some with electrolyte balance, but I wouldn't use mineral content as the deciding factor because they're just simply too low, especially if you're eating the normal recommended amount of salt, and you're much more likely to get those minerals from a balanced diet. So then what factors would I use? Well, number one is taste, and that's totally subjective. Of the salts, I prefer the taste of Baja Gold, so I keep some in the house. But due to its texture, it's a little wetter. You really can't use it effectively in a salt shaker, and it's really hard to control quantity in seasoning, so it's not my first choice. My second factor would be ease of use. For daily use, I'm going to prefer salt that I can put in a salt shaker like table salt or Redmond's real salt. And the third factor, maybe the most important, would be contamination. What shocked me was that all the types of salts listed contain contaminants, primarily in the form of microplastics or heavy metals like lead. Microplastics are found virtually everywhere in the ocean. So those harvested from the sea are likely to contain microplastics. Of notable exception is Baja Gold, which comes from the Sea of Cortez, which has a lower microplastic concentration, and testing has shown Baja Gold to be free from microplastics. Lead, on the other hand, is found naturally in the environment where the salts are mined or harvested. So the salt you're using likely has some trace amounts of lead in it. So then it becomes more a matter of choosing a salt that has lower concentrations. Table salt is the lowest due to how it's processed, but it does contain those bleaching agents to make it white, as well as the anti-caking agents. Pink Himalayan salt is going to have the highest concentration of heavy metals, so I just wouldn't use it at all. Now, the moment of truth. What's my overall pick? Number one for me is Redmond's real salt. Because it's mined from an ancient seabed, it does not contain microplastics. It's not processed like table salt, so there are no bleaching agents or anti-caking agents, and it has lower lead levels when compared to most other salts on the list. It also tastes great, it has an even consistency, and works well in a salt shaker for ease of use. But what do you think? Any surprises today? Let me know what types of salt you use in the comments. That's it for today's show, and I'll catch you on the next one.